So in the last class we have derived this expression, magnetic field on the axis of the current carrying circular coil of radius r at a distance x from the center. We get this expression. Now if it asks to you to plot the graph between the magnetic field intensity and distance x, we will get the graph of such pattern. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now in the graph I have mentioned you x equal to plus r by 2, x equal to minus r by 2. Why I have mentioned these points? Because at these points curvature of the graph is changing. So these points are known as the point of inflection. Let me change this. Okay. So here the graph is like this. Now I will show you why x equal to plus minus r by 2. We get this is the situation, x equal to plus minus r by 2. So what we get at a distance x equal to plus minus r by 2, dv by dx becomes 0. That we have checked it. Sorry, dv by dx is constant, not 0. Constant. And double derivative d2b by dx square equal to 0. Okay. So at x equal to plus minus r by 2, there is a constant magnetic field, and that is also maximum. So all of you just read this slide. At x equal to plus minus r by 2, these are the point known as point of inflection. And this application of this suggestion is that why I explained you this, because one word you will read Helmholtz coil. In the Helmholtz coil, what we will read there are two circular coil and each of radius r, and there may be number of turn n here, such that center to center distance is r and current should flow in the same direction. This constitutes the Helmholtz coil. And when you know at x equal to plus r by 2 there is a magnetic field maximum, then I think if you observe due to this coil and due to this coil at x equal to r by 2 distance, magnetic field will be add up, that is B1 plus B2, and that will be the magnetic field between two current carrying circular coil, or you can say that is a magnetic field maximum at a distance r by 2 in the Helmholtz coil concept. So let us go to the next page. Just a minute. Okay. This is the Helmholtz coil which I was telling you. Helmholtz coil produces a region of uniform magnetic field between the coils. And for definition, two identical plane coil are aligned along a common axis and positioned at distance r apart. Important thing, current should flow in the same direction. Now expression for the magnetic field at a distance r by 2 from the center. As I told you earlier, if all of you recall, magnetic field at a distance x along the axial line can be written as mu naught upon 4 pi 2 pi I n r square upon r square plus x square power 3 by 2. Okay. Now you have to put x equal to r by 2 and you will calculate b1 and you will calculate b2, and what you will observe, both b1 and b2 are in the same direction. So finally you will add, or you can say 2b1 or 2b2, you will get this is the net magnetic field. So all of you just pause the video, solve yourself, and then finally watch my solution. So now we will discuss the solution. We are putting x equal to plus minus r by 2, then finally it is twice of b. So all of you just remember this formula, 0.72 mu naught I n by r. Again I will show you this formula. So finally we will say Helmholtz coil produce a region of the uniform magnetic field within a discrete volume. I think I have shown the shaded region in the right hand side diagram. And again I will tell you the Helmholtz coil setup, current should be in the same direction, and this is the expression of the magnetic field intensity in the volume, that is maximum. You can say it is 0.72 mu naught Ni upon r. This is the, you can understand with the graphical treatment also, due to first coil, due to second coil, and due to superposition, that is the red color. Now you have to tell me, if I give you one situation, there are two coplanar concentric coils. Concentric coils is given to you. First situation is that current in the same direction, you have to tell me net magnetic field at the center. In the second coil, current is in the opposite direction. Firstly, we will solve the left hand side diagram first. Just let me take the pen. Okay. All of you will observe here the current is anti-clockwise direction. So if you use the right hand thumb rule, fingers along the direction of flow of current, thumb is in the outward direction. So due to both the coil, magnetic field is outward. I hope this is clear to all of you. No problem to you. But here if you observe, this is the coil number 1, this is coil number 2. If I write magnetic field due to coil number 1, it should be in the outward direction. Magnetic field due to coil number 2, it should be in the inward direction. Is it okay? Because we will observe the direction of flow of current. Now, magnetic field due to current carrying circular coil, if you people know very well, you will say mu naught I upon 2R. So, due to first coil, mu naught I upon 2R1, due to another coil, mu naught I upon 2R2, and you will add it. But here you have to subtract. Which one will be more? Magnetic field due to 1 will be more. That is dot. So, final answer should be in the dot here. Is it okay? So, you solve it. I am showing you the next slide. Check it. I think we could not mention here direction, but you have to put direction also. In the this one, net direction is outward direction, because outward. Here this R1 is outward, R2 is inward, but R1 is greater than R2, so ultimately here also V2 is outward direction. Is it okay? Now we move further. Okay, then it is non-coplanar. But situation is here, plane of both the coils are perpendicular to each other, and we have to calculate the magnetic field at common center. What you will say? I think it is written here, we have shown here, magnetic field due to this first coil along the axis, magnetic field due to second coil at the center. Direction, you can use the right hand rule. If it is the first coil, current is like this, magnetic field, you trace your right hand finger along the direction of flow of current, thumb will pointing toward this side. In the second coil, let me change the color, this is the second coil. Current is like this, curl the finger along the direction of flow of current, trace thumb, give the direction of magnetic field. So I think it is clear to all of you, both the coil are having same radius, same current. It means magnetic field should be same in magnitude, of course direction is different. It is clear to all of you? Oh sorry, current is different, then you cannot apply it. Let me erase it. Just a minute. We will calculate B1 separately. B1 you will say mu naught I1 upon 2R. We will calculate B2 separately, that is mu naught I2 upon 2R, because radius is same. Because it is not mentioned, we have to take same radius. Now net magnetic field should be taken as the B equal to root B1 square plus B2 square. Now you check it. Let me show in the next slide. I hope it is clear to you. Now we move to the next one. Now all of you try to solve it. Here what we are observing, of course in magnitude we can calculate the B1 and B2 also, but I think it is visible to all of you here, B1 B2 are not perpendicular, they are inclined at some angle theta. So I think all of you can recall the law of parallelogram vector addition. There we use this formula, R equal to root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, and then you can solve it. So I am showing you in the next slide. All of you just check it. Check it. Calculate B1, calculate B2 and put the values here. You will get the required answer. Now there are some questions, and I will suggest you, firstly you solve yourself, then listen me. Okay, listen me. A wire of fixed length is turned to form a coil of one turn. There is a wire of fixed length. We design in a coil of one turn. Definitely there should be a radius r. It is again turned to form a coil of 3 turns. Same wire, if you design to make a coil of 3 turns, definitely radius will change. Let I say radius become r dash. If in both the case same amount of current is flowing, current flowing is I, like this, then the ratio of the magnetic field at the center of the coil, you will calculate B1 and you will calculate B2 and you will calculate B1 by B2. Firstly, if I have to write the B1, all of you know the formula mu naught I upon 2R. Here I write the formula mu naught, same current I, but there are 3 number of turns, so mu naught Ni n equal to 3 upon 2R. Now I think it is simple mathematics. If this same wire is designed to 3 loop, radius will decrease, it will become r by 3. So what I will get, 9 mu naught I upon 2R. Now if you compare this B1 and this B2, I think you will say this is mu naught I upon 2R. Let me change this. You just check it. This mu naught I upon 2R. Here also it is mu naught I upon 2R. It is visible to you. It means the B1 by B2 can be written as, you can easily calculate. Okay, so let me show you on the next slide. Just a minute. So we get 9 times of the first. Okay, then one more question I am asking. Again I will suggest you to pause the video and try to solve yourself. In this situation, we have given a wire in the form of a square of side small a and carrying current I, and we have to calculate the magnetic field at the center of the square. What we will do, if you assume any one conductor, we see the direction of the magnetic field. I hope it is visible to you. Direction of the magnetic field is cross, means inward direction. Then due to this also cross. It means all the conductors are identical in length, they are subtending same angle at the center, and they are producing same magnetic field in the direction also. So it is better to calculate magnetic field due to one wire than multiply by 4. Is it clear? So I will calculate the magnetic field due to this wire number 1. So we know the formula. If it is a straight current carrying conductor, current I is flowing, and if this distance is given to us x, this angle is theta 1, this angle is theta 2, we all know very well. Magnetic field can be written as mu naught I upon 4 pi x sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. So here I use the same formula. What is x? X, if you observe it, it will be a by 2 square, so need not to explain so much. X is given by a by 2. What is theta 1 and theta 2? Again it is square, so you will say it is 45 degree. This is also 45 degree. Now you can solve it. So you please solve yourself. I am showing you the answer. Just check the answer. Okay. Now we move to the next question. Please try to solve it. We have to calculate the ratio of the magnetic field at the center of a current carrying circular wire and the magnetic field at the center of the square coil made from the same length of wire. I say this is a wire of length L and I design it in the form of a circle, and I design the same wire in the form of a square. Okay. Now firstly you write the magnetic field at this center and magnetic field at this center. If I say this circular wire is of radius r, then I think it is clear to us B1 can be written as mu naught I upon 2r. In this situation, I think the last question we have derived the expression. If there is a square of side small a, then magnetic field at the center of the square can be written as mu naught 2 root 2I upon pi a. Okay. Now we have to convert this r in terms of L and this a in terms of L, then we have to divide only. So let me write what I can say here, 2 pi r equal to L. And what is 2r? 2r equal to L upon pi. So what is B1? B1 can be written as mu naught I upon L upon pi, pi I can take here. Similarly, here what I will say, 4a equal to L. So what is a? A equal to L by 4. So we will put the value of the a in this equation and then we will calculate B1 by B2. So I am leaving as an exercise for you. You please solve it and check the answer in the next slide. I hope you will get this answer. Now one more, I think there are 3 questions, not 1. So we will, I think these are very simple circular questions, circular frame questions, you can solve it. So please try to solve it. I will discuss in the next slide.